Aroldis Chapman getting ready for the 9th inning.
Chapman for the year, 3-0, 26 saves in 28 tries, and a 1.76 ERA. And 3-4-5 due up here for the Brewers in the 9th. Braun, Perez, Carter.
Brewers have just 5 hits. They've scored 6 times. They've gotten an assist from 10 walks. Just keep hanging around this afternoon. Cubs have pounded out 14 hits. By Chris Bryant. Here's Braun. He's 0 for 4. His return to the lineup. Missed the game last night with the knee and ankle injuries. This should be a fun matchup, right? Chapman and Braun.
Absolutely.
Painted on the outside corner. Aroldis has had the advantage over the years.
Yeah, what are you going to do when you're trying to gear up for 1-on-1 and he throws you that slider? You're going to look ugly is what you're going to do.
Got him. Triple digits to strike him out.
Got saves in both ends of the doubleheader the other day.
Perez takes a strike. He's homered twice in the series, including the 6th inning today. Top of the zone at 101. That's not easy to catch up to.
Yeah, it's a losing proposition for a hitter there. 6 out of 7 in save opportunities since joining the Cubs.
Ball and 2 strikes. Carter on deck.
Watching the body language of some of the Cubs infielders, it's as if they're thinking, oh, there's no way the ball is going to be put in play.
Two-two. away from him. 3-2. Another payoff pitch. Good battle. Three-run lead, ninth inning. Chapman struck out Braun to start this ninth. Era is not going down quietly. It'll be at least a 10-pitch at bat.
Not really in his game plan. It's not in his DNA to throw the old I give up fastball, the old two-seamer, just throw it over the plate, get some contact.
Really making him work. It's number 12 of the sequence. Base hit to left. What an at bat.
Pretty impressive work by Perez. He's lined out, walked, homered, and now singled today. So flew to right, but yeah, great at bat. For the Miguel Cabrera disciple.
Rose takes off for second, no throw. Believe he'll be given a steal. His run does not matter. One strike on Carter meantime. Two strikes.
And to that end, Wilson shouldn't come out of there, come out of his crouch as if he's going to make a throw. They're conceding the base, nobody's covering. They don't want to do anything that might cost the pitcher a strike.
You pitchers. 1-2. Yeah, I think it's in his DNA, right? When he sees a runner on the move.
Yes, yeah.
It's a tough habit to break. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Two gone. Neuenhuis has homered and doubled. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe has been asked a fair amount about lefty-righty splits, that whole deal with Chapman. He said it really doesn't matter, and he's right. He is tougher on lefties, a lot tougher. 396 the OPS against, but righties it's only 523. Throw to third, and Perez is in safely. Again, an aggressive maneuver by the Brewers. A run that doesn't matter. Got to be 1,000% sure you can get in, and he did.
It was kind of interesting to watch that play out. The ball got away from Contreras, not very far. Contreras hesitated and then made the determination that Contreras didn't know where it was, so off he went.
Pass ball charged to Contreras. The righties hit 165, lefties 127 against Chapman. In the air, foul out of play.
Yeah, so you're not going to play the matchup game with your closer. He's going to be your 9th inning guy. I asked Joe when they first got him, would you consider using him? Big situation in the 8th with a couple guys on against a tough lefty. Even if you didn't think he would then be able to give you the 9th, and Joe said no. And then we saw Chapman came in one of his first appearances and came in the 8th inning. That's the game he blew the save, and afterwards said he really didn't like pitching in that situation. So Joe has tried to stay away from that.
Ground ball to Rizzo. Chapman covers the bag. Cubs win. Cubs sweep. First time they've ever swept the Brewers in a 4-game set at Wrigley. They did it in Milwaukee last year, and that'll wrap up an 8-2 homestand. Yeah,
a homestand in which the starting pitching has led the way. That wasn't the case here today. Jake Arrieta was off his game, issuing 7 walks. He allowed 5 runs, but it was good enough to pick up a win, his 15th, so he's now tied for the league lead in wins with Steven Strasburg. But the headline today, Chris Bryant, man, what a show that young man put on.
Toast to the game is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. It does go to Chris Bryant. Binny's is the official champagne provider.
Second 5-hit game of the year for Chris. He drove in 5. He scored 4 times. Single, double, and 2 home runs for the big fella.
Let's go down to the field and Kelly Kroll.
Chris, what a performance. A couple of home runs, a single, a couple singles, and a double. What does it feel like to be in the zone and have a day like that?
Felt good. I mean, before this year, I've never had 5 hits in a game, and I have 2 of them. I mean, today was a lot of fun for me, and obviously for the team, getting the win. But I can't really explain what it feels like. It just feels good.
You've had some really big days. I think about Cincinnati, something like today. But when you step up in that last at bat, are you thinking about a cycle at all, even though today was even better than that in a way?
I wasn't thinking about a cycle. I was thinking about a homer. I mean, you don't really get a chance to hit 3 home runs in a game too often. So, I was glad to get an insurance run there for Chapman coming in, and he's doing what he did every time he goes out there since we got him. So that was a great game for us.
I'm going to throw out a couple names here when it comes to Santos, Sosa, Banks, and Rizzo. You become now the 5th Cubs player to hit 30 home runs at the age of 24 or younger. Is that meaningful to you when you hear those names and know that you're in that group?
Yeah, it definitely is to me. I mean, you mentioned some really good players, and this team has a lot of history to it, and to be mentioned in the same sentence as those guys, it's humbling, and it just pushes me to be even better.
All right, well, 30 ties you with Nolan Arenado, and you get to see him tomorrow, okay? So you got to keep this going.
I'll try my best.
There you go, guys. His best has been pretty darn good up to this
right, Kelly, thank you. So it is off to the road for the next 9. And we're back with you tomorrow, 7 o'clock Central on CSN. Pre-game coverage, Cubs and the Rockies from Colorado. For JD, for Kelly, and our entire CSN crew here at Wrigley Field, Len Casper with your final score. Cubs 9, Brewers 6. Stay tuned. More to come. Blue Cross Blue Shield. Cubs post-game live next.
Of the last 21 W's now for the Chicago Cubs. Another sweep of the Brewers here, Todd. Offense has been great.
Yeah, good to see. Chris Bryant, huge day. Congratulations on that 5-hit performance. Outstanding. Great to see. Offense kept it going today. I mean, Jack Arrieta obviously didn't have his best stuff, but again, we did get to see that collective offense. We've talked about it all pregame show long, how good they've been all season. Well, particularly over this last 18-game stretch where they've been really, really good, consistent, constant pursuit. Even where there were games where they were ahead in innings, in games moving late, still putting out quality at bats. You saw that again today. Chris Bryant, again, late RBI single, which kind of helped, bring this thing home and cement that victory. So good to see the offense continuing to roll. Top getting it done really well, and a nice win. Nice way to finish the homestand.
9-6, Cubs win it. We'll break it all down coming up on Cubs post-game live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. See you in 2 minutes.
Your home, your auto. They just go together. Combine your home and auto insurance with State Farm. Save time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to your State Farm agent today.
Here you go.
Our dog is gonna love camping with us.
Come on, get in!
Eric.
Come on, let's do it again. Ready?
My turn.
Lease a new 2016 RAV4 with 0 due at signing, 0 down payment, and 0 first month's payment. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on RAV4 during Toyota's annual clearance event. Toyota, let's go places.
Jamie Foxx here for Verizon. Did you know Verizon has more than 3 times the 4G LTE coverage of Sprint?
And I'm Jamie Foxx for Sprint. Pretty much the same coverage if you squint.
You are not Jamie Foxx. Sprint is last nationally in 4G LTE coverage.
Well, who's gonna know this?
What about the left side of the country, huh? This part of Texas, California, New York, etc.
Don't get fooled by cut-rate networks. Get the best. And now get up to 4 free Samsung Galaxy phones, 4 lines, and 16 gigs for just $150. Only on Verizon.
We are the Coors Brewing Company. And our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Audi, truth in engineering. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Toyota, discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
That's the goal for the team this year.
Chris Bryant, deep left, and gone.
Morning, Hotlanta.
High fly to center, way back toward the wall, gone. I'll do you better than a triple. Single homer, double homer for Bryant.
Chris Bryant rolling 5 for 5, 4 runs, 2 homers. 5 RBI. What a day for him. Take a look at this. He is the first Cubs player with multiple 5-hit games in a season since Mark DeRosa in 2007. 3 games this season now he's had 4+ hits, 4+ runs, and 4+ RBI. He's the first Cub to do that since Hack Wilson in 1930. This is his 6th career multi-home run game. And oh yeah, he's up to 30 now for the season. Hello and welcome to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Alongside Todd Hollinsworth, I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. Chris Bryant putting on a show and making his case for MVP.
Well, yeah, and I think that's it. You probably look at this ball game and think, is that MVP conversation start? Is it too early? I kind of was sitting there thinking 30 seems to mean something. You know, we've got other competition around the country. Certainly some guys, another guy on this team that's having a pretty good season in Anthony Rizzo. But the day he has today certainly gets everybody's attention. When you talk about multi-5-hit performances in a season, it doesn't happen very often. Even Chris a little bit surprised in his post-game press conference about the performance itself. So great to see. I mean, the at-bats were solid. That's the one thing that I continue to give credit to this team. You watch their games. In a game like today, it's getaway day. You got your guy, you got your horse on the mound in Arrieta. This is a game that many teams will at times let slip away in that, you know, maybe they'll give some effort. But if there's some pushback by the opposition, a lot of times you'll see the opposition win that game because it's, you know, you've already won 3 games in this series and you've already got a healthy lead in this division. They do not give at-bats away. They do not give games away. Great to see the at-bats as this game went on and the Brewers started to push back just a little bit. Those at-bats started to get even better late.
Easy to see that starting pitching has been great in the month of August. However, the offense has been great too. 3 or more runs now in 17 straight games. That is the 3rd longest streak this season in baseball. The Cubs also had the 2nd longest streak in baseball at 18. They're going to have to go a while to catch the Orioles, but clearly they've had good runs where they put together great offense.
Well, and the one thing that we've talked about, Luke, during this entire stretch is how it has been, you know, not 1 or 2 individuals. I mean, think back to the last 24 hours, right? So they played last night and they won a baseball game. Last night, Chris Bryant was hit a couple times, didn't do anything, you know, much as other 2 at-bats. Anthony Rizzo went 0 for. You know, we come into today's ball game, chance to sweep the series, kind of get after it. They're the 2 guys that are a huge part of this offense. So to me, that's really what's going on right now is that different days, different heroes, and everybody doing their part all together.
Our UPS store taking care of business player of the game, clearly Chris Bryant, and he gets things going right away with that 2-run homer.
Yeah, good to see first pitch swinging and being aggressive on it. And you watch Davies here. We talked about his secondary pitches. Well, in part, you saw the Cubs offense early and try to eliminate that by being a little bit more aggressive early in the count, getting that good first fastball, and you see it right there from Chris Bryant.
Then an RBI double just to keep his day going. He had 3 hits at this point, and he just looks so natural at the plate. It looks so easy for him sometimes, especially when he has a game like this, obviously.
Well, and you watch him working to his pitches, and that's the other thing. 2 times in this ball game where you saw multi-pitch at-bats, meaning, you know, 5 or 6 pitches that kind of led to the final pitch that he puts in play, where he fouls off pitchers' pitches. Right there gets a hanger. That's about the 7th pitch of that at-bat right there, and actually work to that. So again, not just seeing the first pitch fastball and, you know, getting 5 hits in a row off of that, actually working to a lot of these hits.
2nd home run left him a little bit short of the cycle because he needed a triple at some point today. Didn't happen. He'll take the home run. That made number 30 on the season. Where is he different at the plate this year? Well, obviously he was great as a rookie, but where is he different this year? Where do you see the most improvement?
I think he's got a better grasp, and I think last year he really struggled with the low zone. He's just got a better idea how to defend it. And Luke, what I mean by that is he's not always coming up with great results at the bottom half of the zone, but he's found a way, you know, within himself on how to handle it. And sometimes it's fouling off tough 2-strike pitches down in the zone, just fouling them off, throwing them in the seats. Little tip here, little tip there. Keep the at-bat going. Put himself in a position to get a better pitch from the pitcher on the mound, and he's done that. He did that well today, and he's been doing that well this year.
24 younger with 30 or more home runs. All right, let's take a look at our Elk Grove pitching recap. And Jake Arrieta was the guy going out there today. They had this great string of starting pitching, but Jake early on in the first inning looked good, and then something started to change.
Well, I really do believe in that 2nd and 3rd inning, even though there's not evidence of, you know, him giving up runs or any kind of damage, that he was kind of really second-guessing himself just because the ball was in the air so much, and I think that's really what it comes down to. You look at early in the ball game, here we are in the first inning, right? Swing and a miss right there, no surprise. See the ball working itself down in the zone. Ground ball to the right side. Remember, Jake Arrieta is a 2-to-1 guy. He gets way more ground balls than he does balls in the air, flyouts. So again, nothing to see there in the first inning. He's working down in the zone. Now you see that ball just seemed a little flat. It was down in the zone, but it didn't have action down in the zone. And this had a little tailing action, but it wasn't working down in the zone. So you see how the ball's kind of in the air now a little bit more. It's just, you know, he comes off the mound in the third inning. He was a little perplexed. I mean, he wasn't murmuring to himself, but you could tell he was in deep thought. I just thought there was something at work in his mind as to what was going on, because as we get to the fourth and fifth inning, you see a little bit of a different Jake Arrieta.
And we're saying he didn't have his best game, but he still picked up his 15th win of the season. Here's what you're talking about. The struggles start to come later in the game. 7 base on balls, that's a career high for him today.
Well, that's a big number, right? So he was working around that as well again today. And that mistake right there, that ball had no action on it whatsoever. So, you know, he was in the zone, but he was really struggling vertically out over the plate. And if you watch where all these pitches are, at times we've watched him miss wide of the zone. That was not the case today. It was very vertical. It was up and down. All of these pitches, and almost all of them, were out over the plate, but again, up and down in different spots in the strike zone. So again, that's where his game got away from him just a little bit. 6 is awfully big.
So 5 earned runs in this one. First Cubs starting pitcher with 7 walks in a game since 2011. Big Z lost control one day. But obviously, Jake Arrieta, more than once he lost it a little bit.
All right,
time for a quick break here on Cubs Post Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We're coming right back, and we will check out your 4 seasons heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Who's hot, who's not first against the Cubs this season? Who's hot? Carlos Gonzalez, 333 with a home run and 2 RBI. Who's not? Former Cub DJ LeMahieu, 0 for 9 with a bunch of strikeouts, 5 of them on the season.
Cubs Post Game Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
If you feel like singing a song and you want other people to sing along, just sing what you feel. Don't let anyone say it's wrong. When there's a light, what light? There's a light, what light? There's a light, white light.
Jamie Foxx here for Verizon. According to a leading independent test of 108 top cities in the country, Verizon won the most consistently fast speeds in 90 cities.
Jamie Foxx here for Sprint, also just as fast.
You're not fooling nobody with this.
How many cities did Sprint win?
4. And in 55 cities, Sprint was dead last.
I feel like we're faster.
I feel like you should read the chart.
Don't get fooled by cut rate networks. Get the best. And now get up to 4 free Samsung Galaxy phones, 4 lines, and 16 gigs for just $150. Only on Verizon.
Some things work better when they're connected, like your HD DVR. Connect it to the internet now and catch up on the shows you've missed, even entire seasons all at once. Plus, get instant access to over 10,000 shows and movies on demand. Connecting your HD DVR is easy and it's free. Go to directtv.com/connect to learn how.
Hi, gang. Little Poogie here. This summer, we're going big. Really big.
With big-time summer savings on our giant Poogie inventory. Like a new Santa Fe Sport with $3,500 cash back or 0% financing for 60 months. Get the Poogie price and save.
We're a family-run business just like the little guys.
But you'll save big and get super-sized service at Poogie. Buy a new car from Poogie can be a beautiful thing.
Poogie Poogie.
Cubs win 9-6. Here's Joe Madden, presented by Xfinity.
Yeah, I mean, it was, we had a great offensive day. It was, the wind conditions were in our favor. KB I don't want to say took advantage of it. Maybe the second one, but that first one was absolutely crushed. Good at-bats up and down the lineup. Caesar started it off really well again. Just a good day. We caught the ball. We did so many things. Obviously, the biggest negative was the walks. We had a hard time finding the plate. Jake had great stuff and really was looking for him to go a little bit deeper into that game if we could. We had a really limited bullpen today. So anyway, I'll take it. I give the Brewers credit. They worked some really good at-bats today. They definitely wanted that last game. They did work good at-bats. They kept fighting back. And furthermore, we got to Davies, and I really think that kid's a really good major league pitcher. And I've not seen us have those kind of at-bats against him before today. He's very good also.
You guys are all about the team, but you've got two legit MVP candidates here, don't you?
Oh, I think absolutely. And this next 6 weeks, whatever it's going to be, is going to really maybe separate them, put them definitely in that conversation. As we move forward, I still want to look for moments to give them a break. Those are the two guys. I think we gave Riz that day off a bit ago. I took KB off his feet a little bit ago, and he's really responded well with that. So moving forward, I want to be aware of that. Zobrist, I think, is playing again at a very good level. So my point is I got to give him a break. The nice thing is we're getting these guys off their feet. The guys that are playing are doing really well, like, again, i.e. Caesar today. So just another complete team victory. No, it's not on Wilson at all. Wilson, it's Jake was just having a hard time with the zone.
How would you assess Wilson's work with Jake?
Good, very good. I thought pitch calling. I mean, Jake started out really well. I mean, he was on top of it, and when he walked Davies, it kind of like started unraveling. And of course, walking Perez and Carter, he gets 2 quick outs and then walk, and then a homer. Truly put a different complexion on that game. It was just different at that point. So stuff fantastic. Probably didn't have his better slider today. Velocity was good, but the command of the fastball kind of evaded him as we got more deeply into the game.
Is there a delicate line? I mean, Wilson likes to go out to the mound quite a bit, but with a guy like Jake who likes to stay in rhythm, is there a balance that Wilson has to find in working on?
Yeah, but I thought he really did well with that. I mean, it was necessary to go out and talk to him today. He was just just off. And I thought Wilson did great. How about the pickoff at first base? That was another big play. Almost had another one. No, I really, the comportment of Contreras today I thought was outstanding.
Because there was one time he went halfway and then came back.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't exactly. I think he just wanted to slow him down maybe a little bit because Jake's face was fine when he did that.
Joe, you always talk about.
Welcome back to Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Joe Madden talking about Wilson Contreras getting the start behind the plate with Arrieta. What did you think of that matchup?
Well, I liked it. I really did. I mean, to me, this is watching the learning curve of this young man. Wilson has earned the opportunity to be out there, and I also believe it's telling us a story that what we're going to see in August and September, that sometimes there's going to be an opportunity for him to do more than I think what we would have expected of him. You're setting yourself, you're protecting yourself, you're growing a young player at the same time, putting him out there with the veterans. I think it's a great move by the club to find out what he's capable of doing, get him used to the vets on this team, and we'll see where this goes. I'm not sure, I'm not going to have that playoff conversation in my mind yet, but it is leading you somewhere. There's reasons why you're giving him starts with your big guys, moving as we move down the stretch here.
We just heard Joe Madden after the game. He also spoke before the game, talking about Jason Hayward, who had the day off this afternoon.
He'll be the first one to tell you he's not happy with his offensive output. I agreed. But if you're standing in the dugout, and if you don't know anything else about what batting average, you look at our record and you look at him in right field, and I can't be more comfortable with this guy on the field while we're playing baseball. He's such a good baseball player. He's such a great teammate. All the things he does, again, that I believe are really important to victory, to a winning attitude, winning team. I do believe there's going to be a tremendous reward at the end of all this for him and for us. It's difficult, I know, outside looking in, but our record's pretty good, and he's been on the field for most of those games, and he's a winner. He's an absolute winner, this fellow.
Time for your Honda winning box score. Cubs with plenty of offense, of course, most of it. Chris Bryant, 5 for 5. Caesar, as Joe Madden mentioned, a nice job at the top of the lineup. Addison Russell, though, your pick, came through.
Well, 5 guys, multi-hit efforts today, so good to see Addison Russell big at bats early, even was pretty close to getting another home run to left. Braun not able to come up with the catch, but I thought great at bats today from Addison Russell, and again, you saw that aggressiveness early. It was the mindset, and I talked about it, those secondary pitches beat him. Get to that fastball before he can get to those secondary pitches, and I thought a bunch of the Cub hitters did a fantastic job of doing that. So Davies never really settled in, and comfortable day for him, and he's been really, really good this year. So I thought that approach against him worked, certainly for this lineup and certainly for Addison Russell, who, as you see right there, is getting it done here.
Especially at home. You see 52 of his RBI coming at home. Did you see him having this type of production so early in his career, and so many things that have changed for him? He's played different positions. He's changed to the leg kick. He's had a lot coming at him.
It's a great question because, Luke, watching Addison Russell, early on, you could absolutely see that this young man was going to be an all-star, that he's going to be a great player. But for me, the consistency was what I was struggling with. I didn't know if he was going to be the type of player that was going to be a run producer, a constant offensive force. And what you're seeing right now is Addison, I think, knows as much about his swing as he does about who he's going up against that day. It's not just the game planning. It's not saying, okay, today I'm looking to pull. It's also understanding what those in-game situations mean. And when you see somebody who's producing as much as he has with runners in scoring position, that's a guy whose confidence is going through the roof and is playing very well.
Jake Arrieta talking at Wrigley Field right now.
See something new every day in this game. Yeah, it wasn't ideal with the walks. Obviously, the 3-run homer to Nieuwenhuis in the fourth inning, right? 2 walks in front of him. I think was it maybe 2 outs. So put myself in a tough situation. First 3 were good, really good innings, and kind of got away from me there. Had a big day out of the offense, and that was really the story of the day. They were able to carry us to a win today and secure the sweep and, move on to Colorado on a really high note.
Jake, does working with a new catcher...
No. Wilson and I are pretty comfortable working with each other regardless of having worked in an actual game together. He knows what I like to do. I know his catching style from behind the plate, so, that really wasn't an issue. It was really just misexecution, not hitting spots in a couple key situations was really what led to the 5 runs.
Most importantly, team 18 wins 21 games. Can you talk about the current role of the team?
Well, it seems like everybody, has contributed in some form or fashion. Chris with a huge day again today. How many hits we had? We had 13 or 14 hits. So it's just everybody's playing their role and doing a really good job of helping facilitate a winning effort, and it's great to see from top to bottom. So our starters have pitched extremely well. Bullpen's been good, so that's why we've been playing as well as we have.
Arrieta win number 15 on the season. Kirk Nieuwenhuis got him with that 3-run homer. He's been pretty good against the Cubs this year. 5 home runs on the season. Coming back with more Cubs postgame live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield in just a bit.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint, Menards is here to help with an 11% rebate on everything, even sale prices, so you can finish your latest project and start planning the next big thing. Now's the perfect time to pick up a new inverter generator. Right now, save with an 11% rebate on all products from Briggs & Stratton. Save big money and get an 11% rebate on everything, even sale prices, now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Welcome to Honda.
Thank you.
Head over heels, where should I go? Can't stop myself, out of control.
time to think. Looks like the whole world's out of sync.
So you like it?
I do.
Now is the moment to get the Honda CR-V you love, the best-selling SUV in America, at the Honda Summer Clearance Event, going on now.
To thrive in an ever-changing environment, companies must adapt. But one thing should remain constant: a financial relationship with someone that understands and cares about your business. PNC Corporate and Institutional Banking offers strategies tailored to your company's needs. Know that our dedicated teams of local experts offer insight to help you achieve your business objectives. See how working with PNC can help your company grow at pnc.com/ideas.
Cubs fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card available only at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
Thanks for stopping in, Capper. Let's take a look back at Todd's keys from the pregame show sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield. What did you have on tap for us?
All right, bad is good. Now, we talked a little bit about the bad contact, and of course, Arietta, Jake, certainly you heard him right there in his post-game press conference talking about struggling with his command. We did see it early, just not enough of it. Again, it turned into a bad outing, 7 walks, 5 earned runs, but the offense there to save the day. So bad is good, just kind of talked about how he needed to be around the plate and get some of that bad contact. This was the version of where, I thought that he was kind of trying to navigate that ball just a little bit more. Secondary issues, none whatsoever. Cubs versus Zach Davies. In fact, they looked so good against Zach Davies today. I really didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming this good. I thought there was going to have to be some more work. I thought great at bats. They avoided the secondary pitches. When he did throw some secondary pitches, they were ready to hit. There's a couple hanging curveballs in there that are, still going. Finishing strong, it's exactly what you wanted to see. 8-2 on the homestand. Getting ready to go out on this lengthy road trip. You got San Diego. You have the Rockies as well, and who am I forgetting? Dodgers, right? I couldn't remember if it was Dodgers or Giants. So good test out west, but a good way to get off. And I thought Jake said it right. Not a good performance by him today, but a great team win.
Kyle Hendricks on the mound tomorrow, right here on CSN.
I'm really excited about this one. He's going to show us at altitude about that changeup. You're going to see it work at Coors Field. So we'll see where it goes.
Cubs win 9-6. We'll see you back here tomorrow. You go take a nap so you're fresh for that game.
I will.
You? We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, honey. You remember to lock the Buick, right?
Of course I do. I'll never forget that.
The My Buick app, now available in every Buick.
You closed all the apartment windows, too.
Come on. Really?
You're the best.
Now get cash back for up to 16% of the MSRP on these select 2016 Buick vehicles. That's over $3,500 cash back on this Buick Encore.
Jamie Foxx here for Verizon. Did you know Verizon has more than 3 times the 4G LTE coverage as Sprint?
And I'm Jamie Foxx for Sprint. Pretty much the same coverage if you squint.
You are not Jamie Foxx. Sprint is last nationally in 4G LTE coverage.
Well, who's going to know this?
What about the left side of the country, huh? This part of Texas, California, New York, etc.
Don't get fooled by cut rate networks. Get the best. And now get up to 4 free Samsung Galaxy phones, 4 lines, and 16 gigs for just $150. Only on Verizon.
Why jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Why not? Chicagoland Skydiving Center was voted the best in the U.S. with a perfect safety record, a one-of-a-kind environment, and round-trip shuttle service from downtown Chicago. Come experience the greatest adventure in the area. Chicagoland Skydiving Center in Rochelle. Visit us at perfectlygoodairplane.com.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you.
Call Adolescent Growth today and see how our proven treatment programs for eating disorders can begin to bring the sunshine back in the life of your teen and your family.
Please don't take my sunshine away.
We now join the following program already in progress.
Out there and complete it.
If you go out each day and you compete and you concentrate and you have great grit as an individual, you can go a long way when November comes down the road.
I'm looking forward to camp this year, more so than others, I would say. We have a lot of unfinished business to take care of.
3 T's. The first T is tempo. It's speed, which you play the game. We play fast, but never in a hurry. Okay? The second T is technique. It's what we'll learn in individual when we watch tape together as coaches and players. We learn about our technique. Okay? When you're gonna go against guys who are better than you sometimes. You're gonna get in a game and you might not feel 100%. That happens in football. Or you're really tired. All right? You have to rely on your technique. Third one is our calling card. It's who we are. It's about toughness. Okay? The teams that have it win, the teams that don't. There's no place to hide in football. When you cross the white line, step on that green grass or turf, there's no place to hide. Okay? I don't like guys who aren't courageous. I don't like you as a football player. So you need to pick another sport or get out of here because you're going to get hurt. Okay? I got 907 coaches. You're welcome to break up and go to individual meetings, all right? Okay? Anybody got any questions? Anybody coaches? Everybody good? All right, good break. See you. Birds on 2, 1, 2. Birds. I think in August we want to establish our identity. It's going to be key. You know, what can we do? Who we are. You know, I like to be physical, and that is part of our game. I think we need to be more physical everywhere in our team.
Country Financial wants to know, what if you could own your future?
I mean, I would spend it with family and friends. Travel more.
Retire. Can make decisions that aren't fear-based about money.
At Country Financial, we take the time to get to know you so we can develop a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you take charge of where you want to be.
Have that fear removed from my mind.
To help you own your future.
To be in control of your future.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
At Advocate Medical Group, your 24/7 access to health and wellness allows you to get back to the moments that matter. Through your personal online connection, you can schedule appointments, refill prescriptions, and talk to your doctor. Because you deserve to live your healthiest life. Advocate Medical Group. Access anywhere, anytime.
The For Freedom sales event is on, and our biggest event of the year just got bigger. Just announced 0 for 72 on Ford F-Series, giving you freedom from interest. Plus, specially tagged pickups now get 1,000 smart bonus. America's best-selling trucks 39 years straight are built Ford tough. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on Ford F-Series. Plus, specially tagged trucks get 1,000 smart bonus cash.
Embrace the process. Part of the process you've been working on is in the classroom. Now you got to take the classroom to the field. All right? You set a goal for yourself every single day within the process. All right? And get a little better every day. Okay? It doesn't have to be anything major. Just keep clipping away at it. Remember, no one stays the same. You either get better or you get worse. Get better today. All right, embrace the process. Great. Let's go. Let's get a break. Birds on 2, 1, 2. Birds.
That's when we kind of find our identity as a team, is find out who we really are and what type of team we're going to have this year, which is that we always are kind of the same mentality. We're tough, we have good technique, and we have good tempo. We're fast. Well, it's football. That's basically all it is, just football, football, football all day during camp. Just keep getting better, improve timing, and it's really working on timing and just getting the little things right.
Being around all the guys, the coaches, the staff, getting to just basically talk and learn and get better for 2 weeks. It's just a bonding experience, sort of a bonding experience as well as playing football, and I think our staff does such a good job of using it as a bond experience.
We got a lot of work to do to get to where we're trying to get to. Hopefully they come together as a team, because that's what it's all about, Make sure we got that cohesive unit to go for we got a long stretch. Hopefully we're playing 15 games. Training camp is where you weed a lot of people out too, because it will be tough. And, you get to see the guys you're going to be able to count on during the season.
We have a group of kids that work really hard. They're hard workers. We got smart guys. This is one of the smartest group of guys we've had. And we've had smart guys throughout my time here, but we have a lot of them. This is the depth of intelligence and toughness is butter. I think the leadership is really good. The depth of leadership is good. It doesn't just come from the seniors. It comes throughout the classes all the way through. I think the freshmen still are feeling their way, and that's part of it. But those guys will start establishing their leadership skills when we get into two-a-days. We'll find out who those guys are, and as they get older.
Mentally, being our fifth year, we're used to it, but it's the main thing, the freshmen and the underclassmen, making sure they understand what's expected of them and kind of being leaders towards them.
You just kind of got to lead by example, and you have to make them feel comfortable asking you questions. And even if they don't ask you questions, you can kind of see when someone doesn't exactly know what they're doing. So you go up and you assist them, and you try and make sure that everyone feels comfortable asking you a question and everyone feels comfortable learning from you as well.
Hey, lock up, baby. Let's go, Uno. Lock up, Uno. Let's go. Move your feet.
Things go fast, and just make sure that they mentally are ready to go, because they're young and they're not gonna want to do things, but that's just the way we do it around here. There's a new standard, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Keep the ball on your chest.
Down.
The ball is moving from your chest to side.
Down.
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 Now being a senior, I feel like it's my responsibility, our responsibility to help the younger guys, to develop the team, to bring them up, and to make sure this program stays on top. Young guys, we're looking to see who can maybe play right away and who can be a good backup so we can build depth. The older guys are still trying to get better, still trying to develop. Nobody is complacent here, and we're all trying to just reach that next step.
All right, this is a man's game to be treated as such. This is not easy. All right, so you have to force yourself to sprint to the football. It's innately human. Human beings. We try to find the easy way out. We just do. We go to college, so we make our life easier, right? That's why I go to college. Make our life easier. Okay? Everything we do is to make our life easier. But guess what? If you're gonna be a big-time football player, you'll be a big-time football team, it ain't easy. If it was, everybody won 23 games like the last team did here, last 2 years. It's never been done. It's never been done to go 3 playoff appearances in a row. Guess what? You have that opportunity to do that. Okay? All right, get a break. Sir?
Get in, Anthony.
Birds on 2, 1, 2.
Birds.
Off field.
come back out here tomorrow and just keep getting better every day. Just keep getting a little better, all right? Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2! Oh!
Get to the Acura Summer Performance Event at Arlington Acura.
Lord have mercy, I've been performing for years.
Right now at Arlington Acura, get 0% APR for 60 months on new Acuras with great trade-in values.
Be sure to see us before you buy, my dear.
Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Arlington Acura in Palatine, just west of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
Clean food. Words Panera lives by. No artificial flavors, preservatives, sweeteners, no colors from artificial sources. 100% of our food will be clean by year's end. That's food as it should be.
At Discount Tire, we're not just about tires. We're about people.
Right now, get a $70 Visa prepaid card on any set of 4 Michelin tires, plus $30 when you purchase with Discount Tire credit.
Uh-oh, your check engine light just came on. The signal you're about to be hit with a repair bill costing you thousands of dollars. That's why you need auto repair coverage from CarShield. When your car breaks down, you pick your favorite trusted mechanic or dealership. CarShield gets them paid directly. With hundreds of thousands of customers, CarShield is the trusted industry leader. Call CarShield and protect yourself from future repair bills. The sooner you call, the sooner you're covered.
Call 1-800-507-0166.
For true Chicagoans, the White Sox are a part of our DNA. From Hyde Park to Park Ridge, we wear our hearts on our pinstripe jersey sleeves. From 79th through Bridgeport, from Bronzeville to Naperville, we're loyal to the team through thick and thin. We come from all walks of life and neighborhoods, but remain united by what takes place at 35th and Shields. We take pride in our city, and we take pride in the game.
I like our team. I really do. It's probably not fair to say that, from this year to this year, this year, this year. I've been here 8 seasons. We've had so many good people come through the program, but this group, the vibe about this group is more so than ever. It's a selfless group.
Shout out Mom and Dad back home.
It's a very interesting team.
Why would you say they're interesting?
I don't want to shortchange anybody who's been through here because they've been such great guys. Just something about this group. They got it, whatever it is. You know what I mean? They're really, really smart. They're on the same page. Very, very little problems. They kind of take care of issues amongst themselves before it ever gets to me. And every great team I've been around has been like that. And that's why I hope they're good enough. Now are they good enough? Are they talented enough? I think they are, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
As teams dig in for the pennant race, DirecTV is bringing the heat with the MLB Extra Innings package now for a special half-season price. Watch baseball's best arms and biggest bats battle for postseason rights, all at a new low price for the rest of the season. Plus, get MLB.TV included, so you can watch nearly 100 live games a week on over 400 supported devices. Bring home this season's final stretch. Order MLB Extra Innings on DirecTV.
At Mike Anderson Chevrolet of Maryville, we love our customers.
And we want to help you
Find the perfect vehicle.
We've got a huge selection on our giant lot with hundreds of vehicles to choose from.
Visit our showroom at I-65 and 61st Avenue.
Let us help you find your next vehicle.
Hurry in and save. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on select 2016 Chevrolet models.
Visit Mike Anderson Chevrolet in Merrillville at I-65 and 61st Avenue.
Mike Anderson Chevrolet,
the Chevy Giant.
It's that time of year to clean out the old and get in the new. A new Gerald Subaru, that is. We make it easy to find a Subaru you'll love because Gerald Subaru has a huge selection of inventory at 2 convenient Chicagoland locations. Come in today to test drive your favorite models, including the 2016 Forester. Plus, all our Subarus are backed by Gerald's exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. There's so much to love, only at Gerald Subaru at I-88 in Orchard Road or Ogden Avenue in Naperville.
Our Thursday CSN Double Dip continues in 30 minutes. Adam Eaton provided the heroics last night. Tonight, Carlos Rodon will look to give the White Sox a series win in Cleveland. Hawk and Stoney have the call top of the hour. And at game 1 of our CSN doubleheader, Chris Bryant beat the Brewers by himself, 5 for 5, 2 home runs. Cubs sweep away Milwaukee despite a subpar outing control-wise for Jake Arrieta. And the Bears practice against the Patriots for 3 days. Now it's time to face off for real, sort of. It's preseason game number 2 for the beloved. Who will play? Will the Bears even score a point? Will the Bears stop anybody from scoring? Sometimes Adam Johns has the latest live from Foxborough. Welcome into Sports Talk Live, presented by the Chevy Silverado. Hope you had a good day. I'm David Kaplan. Panel for today's show. From the Sun-Times, he's our guy, Potsy, Mark Potash. And from SB Nation Radio, he's Jason Gotch. All right, let's get started with a big day for Chris Bryant. 2 more home runs, also had a single. He had a double. He ends up 5 for 5, a triple shy of the cycle. Potsy, this guy just continues to be smoking hot. And we may be seeing a guy go from Rookie of the Year to MVP.
Oh, absolutely, Cap. I mean, how many ways can we say how great a player Chris Bryant is? I mean, there's really not much more you can say. He doesn't hit well late and close situations. I guess you can. That's one area of improvement. But really, other than that, statistically and everything, the thing I like about him is when he's like a superstar in that when he gets hot, like today, you're not going to get him out. And when he's cold, it's not for very long. He seems to learn well and recover well. And I think that's the best sign. That's why I think he's made that big progression, because those valleys aren't very, very deep.
Yeah, it's amazing as a young player how he really hasn't hit a lot of valleys. And you look at the way he is able to adjust to the pitchers and also take advantage of opportunities when he's at the plate and the consistency he can give them. I mean, it's hard to, you can measure the clutch thing, and I agree. Sometimes, he maybe doesn't come through there, but a lot of guys don't. I mean, those situations are really tough, and a lot of times you're facing good pitchers. So, I mean, he's been dominant. I mean, there's nothing more you can say than that.
Check out Stat of the Day, driven by the Chevy Silverado. Chris Bryant joins this exclusive list. With his 30th home run, he's just the 5th player in the history of the Cubs to have a 30-homer year in his age 24 or younger season. The other 4, how about these names? Ernie Banks, Ron Santo, Sammy Sosa, and Anthony Rizzo. Plus, today was the 10th game since 1913 in which a Cubs batter had 5 hits and at least 2 home runs. Chris Bryant has 2 of those. Nobody else has more than 1. So today they go out and play, and Bryant is phenomenal. I mean, he does everything. He will play. You name the position. Hey, Chris, can you play right today? No problem. Chris, can we put you in left tomorrow? No problem. Hey, we're giving Riz a day. You want to play first? No problem. And then we'll, of course, get you back to third where they would like him to be and where he would like to be. And then he hustles out of the box, and he's breaking up double plays and sliding into first. This guy's like a once-in-a-lifetime type of role model kid and a great player.
He is, Cap, but all that is, I accept that. But Bryant could be the MVP of the league. I still think Rizzo is the MVP of this team because he may not be quite as versatile as Bryant, but he's he is a leader. He's a guy who does everything. You saw the other night.
He's the face of the team.
He's a guy who is he's a throwback. He's an old school type player, and I don't mean to turn it on to Rizzo, but I think it's a worthwhile point that while Bryant is having this great year, how well they are together, having the same team, Rizzo is the guy who really, I think, at this point of his career, keeps things together on that team.
If I told you guys it's the 9th inning, they're down a run, they're 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs, and you could have one guy at the plate, Bryant or Rizzo, I think I would tell you Anthony Rizzo. I just feel like
I don't think there's any question.
He's the guy that will make sure he puts the ball in play. Chris is the guy that you can go, he'll have the monster game and carry you in a game.
And it's early in Bryant's career, but you can just tell from his body language that he's not as comfortable in quote-unquote late and close situations. You can see it. Not that he's not a good hitter in those situations, but you can tell the difference. Rizzo is the same player in the 9th inning that he was in the 1st. And also he hits left-handers well. He's a great safety valve, a great safety net. He's a guy, like you say, in a clutch situation, late in a game, I would rather have Rizzo at bat.
All right, as for guys who are not playing in a clutch way, Joe Madden talked today about Jason Hayward. Take a listen.
And he'll be the first one to tell you he's not happy with his offensive output. I agreed. But if you're standing in the dugout, and if you don't know anything else about what batting average, you look at our record and you look at him in right field, and I can't be more comfortable with this guy on the field while we're playing baseball. He's such a good baseball player. He's such a great teammate. All the things he does, again, that I believe are really important to victory, to a winning attitude, winning team. We'll continue, to work through all these moments. I do believe there's going to be a tremendous reward at the end of all this for him and for us. It's difficult. I know outside looking in, but our record's pretty good, and he's been on the field for most of those games, and he's a winner. He's an absolute winner, this fellow.
All right, so we hear Joe say that, and again, he is a phenomenal guy. Every player you ask, oh, Jason's tremendous in the clubhouse. He's a Gold Glove caliber defender. He is an elite base runner. He plays hard all the time. He's got a big-time arm. That all said, if you started Game 1 tomorrow against the Cardinals in the NLDS, would you rather have Javi Baez on the field at 3rd and play Bryant, Soler, and Fowler as your outfield, or would you rather have Bryant at 3rd, Baez on the bench, and have one of the guys in left and Jason Hayward in right, knowing offensively it's a rough go?
I know what I want. I want Jason Hayward in right. And here's the reason. Pitching and defense matters in the playoffs. He plays great defense. And I don't want Chris Bryant a little out of position. I don't want a guy who's not normally in right field regularly there. Give me Jason Hayward until they start to struggle with the bats, because their offense is good enough where we've seen this season. Look, the guy hasn't hit all year, and what's happened? They have the best record in baseball. So what Joe Madden said there, he can afford to say, because everything's gone right even with Hayward not hitting.
The only problem I have with that scenario is that in the playoffs, a lot of times good teams don't hit because you're facing great pitchers all the time. So you might need
right
now they can stand having Jason Hayward hitting 230 or whatever he's hitting because everyone else is hitting. In the playoffs, that's kind of magnified a little bit. So I might be more tempted to play Baez in the playoffs. But you can't. I don't think you can lose really. I mean, because Hayward's so good defensively, I think you certainly have to take that into account. But I like Baez's bat in the playoffs because you just don't know that this team's going to hit that well in the playoffs.
Yeah, see, to get Baez's bat in the lineup, that means Hayward has to sit.
Right.
Because you're not taking Zobrist out of the lineup. You look at all the analytics, he's been outstanding for them. Chris Bryant's going to play somewhere. Addison Russell's going to start at short. Rizzo's going to be at first, and Fowler's going to be in left. It certainly looks to me like Contreras is going to be your #1 catcher, with David Ross catching Lester and maybe in another situation, possibly.
And that defensive alignment scares me. You got a rookie catcher who's only played a couple of months. You have Chris Bryant basically out of position because he's normally a third baseman. You lose the defense of Hayward. Baez is a good glove guy, so you're okay there.
Bryant's an outstanding outfielder.
He hasn't played as much outfield as third.
I would say they project him long term as potentially
Well, yeah, but
an
his
outfielder.
experience in the outfield right now is not as extensive as third base. Right? That might be true 3 years down the road if he plays there every day. But all of a sudden, what's gotten you to this point at the best record in baseball, in Game 1 of the playoffs, you're just going to change everything?
Okay, so let's assume then you played Zobrist in the outfield, and you have Dexter Fowler, and you put Javi at second to get his glove in there, and Bryant said his spot at third. Well, then it's either Soler or Hayward.
I think you start with Hayward. And I agree with what Mark was saying, too. Like, the hitting, there's no doubt the hitting can be a problem because it is pitching and defense.
As you know, the first couple times he comes up with second and third and 1 out or 2 outs, and he doesn't get a man over or he doesn't get a man in, everyone's going to be like, really?
Well, I would say you play Game 1, you go what got you there. Okay, let's say you got shut out or you lose that game. Game 2, maybe you change the lineup a little bit. I don't think you shake the lineup up going into Game 1. I think you wait until you give yourself a little leeway there based on what you did in the regular season.
Yeah, I agree with that because I think you give Hayward. And Hayward's, I mean, he's the kind of guy who I could see him having a big playoff series.
Right, all of a sudden you go, where was that guy all year?
So I agree. I'd say give him a chance, especially because he doesn't hurt. He obviously helps you defensively.
And running the bases.
Give him a game, 2 games, and then see where you're at. And I think Joe Madden will probably end up doing that.
Let's talk about Tommy LaStella. He has reported to Class AA, went 1 for 1 last night, and then was hit by a pitch in the foot. And he is out of the lineup tonight, and he is day to day with that bruised foot. I have never seen something this bizarre where a guy decides he's going to make the rules and doesn't show up where the organization sends him and fully says, hey, man, I understand if they're mad at me, but the only place I want to be is Chicago. Well, yeah, I'd like a solid gold toilet. It's not in the cards. I don't understand why he's being brought back in possibly to this situation. That would make no sense to me.
Especially, I think it's when you have a team that's 30-something games over 500, I think that gives you a little bit more leeway to do that kind of thing. But I'll tell you, Rizzo's response to you on your show, I think, said a lot, or non-response, I guess, that, no comment on how it would affect the clubhouse. Because I think we talked about this earlier, that that when he came back, that clubhouse would accept him and it would not be a problem. That might not be true. And the question Joe Madden has to ask himself is that chemistry going to be altered enough to alter our fate in the postseason? And I think it's a big question. I think it's something that Madden has to deal with. But it'll be interesting to see. That's the one thing that surprised me about this, is that it kind of seems like he won't be welcomed with open arms without something.
I don't think he'll be welcomed by every guy in there. There may be some who go whatever, but I think some are going, really?
The possibility is maybe they just keep him around as an insurance policy, have him in the minor leagues, they bring him up in September. But I tend to agree. I mean, who is Tommy LaStella? He's a bench player and he's issuing demands where he's going to play. I mean, I think people would raise their eyebrows if it was, let's say, I don't know, even if Chris Bryant said, for whatever reason, well, I don't want to go on a rehab assignment, that I'm too good for that. I think people would be like, wait, you got to kind of do what the organization says, you're a player. And Tommy LaStella, I mean, this is an expendable part. Do they need him? They only need him if, like, Baez, Russell, Zobrist all go down, then all of a sudden you have this horrible injury problem, you might need an infielder. But, I mean, he's an expendable piece.
And, Cap, the Bears have gotten rid of 2 guys, Brandon Marshall and Martellus Bennett, because they weren't all in and because they need every single guy to be on board and all football all the time. And to have a guy in baseball, I don't know if the dynamic is any different, but to have one guy who is not all in as far as, baseball first, I don't know what kind of problem that caused in the clubhouse, but we'll see.
Interesting dynamic. It's Game 2 of the preseason tonight for the beloved Bears when they take on the Patriots in Foxborough. Meanwhile, Kyle Fuller will not be there, and it doesn't look like we'll see him for any other preseason games either. Could he be out even longer than that? The latest from the Sun-Times' Adam Johns in Foxborough, next on STL.
Sports Talk Live is presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers who know what it takes to be number one. It's all about drive.
Today we're going to be comparing the roll-form steel bed of the Chevy Silverado to the aluminum bed of this competitor's truck. Awesome. Yeah. First, let's check out the aluminum bed of this truck. Wow. Holy moly. Full-on crack here. Now let's check out the steel bed of the Silverado.
I'd expect more dents. No holes.
This summer, find your tag and get 16% of MSRP cash back on select remaining 2016 Silverado pickups in stock. That's over $7,500 cash back on this Chevy Silverado. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
This is our magnificent mile and a half. These are our monsters of the Speedway. And this is our kind of town. This is Chicagoland Speedway, the Windy City's home for racing and summer's last big party. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup starts here. Get your tickets now at ChicagolandSpeedway.com.
My dear, get to the Ford Freedom Sales event at Schaumburg Ford.
Oh, I'll think about that tomorrow. After all, tomorrow is another day.
Hurry in now while the selection is the best.
During the Ford Freedom Sales event at Schaumburg Ford, get 0% for 72 months plus $1,000 smart bonus cash on our most popular models.
Bob Rohrman. Bob Rohrman, Schaumburg Ford, just west of the Woodfield Mall on Gulf Road, Schaumburg.
Tonight, it's Frazier, Anderson, and your Sox against Kipnis, Napoli, and the Tribe. White Sox, Indians, tonight at 6 on CSN Chicago. Saturday night on CSN Plus. The men in red are fired up as they head north of the border for an Eastern Conference battle with Montreal. Watch them inflame the impact and goal for the goal. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. on CSN Plus. Game on.
Tomorrow night at 7, come on out and enjoy great baseball as our own Kelly Crow hosts a Coors Light viewing party at City Tap in Norwich. Watch your Central Division leaders battle Colorado and enjoy ice-cold Coors Light. Great beer equals great responsibility. All right, to Foxborough we go. Man on the Sun-Times corporate card is Adam Johns, and he joins us now. AJ, what's the latest on Kyle Fuller? I saw the Adam Hogue report earlier that he will not play the next 2 preseason games after tonight, and they hope he'll be ready week 1. What are you hearing?
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. We talked to Ryan Pace yesterday here in Foxborough. Very disconcerting. He's obviously dealing something with he's had since the offseason. Obviously, they're going to be cautious with him because he is a valuable member of this team. But I would say he's in the Pernell McPhee boat. Yes, he's valuable, but they got to be mindful of this because this is a long-term guy, a guy they're trying to figure out if he can be a long-term fixture at cornerback. No reason to rush him in the preseason. The hope is he'll be ready by week 1. But I'll tell you this, there's a wide open competition at cornerback right now to take his spot. You got Devontae Busby, Jacoby Glenn, Bryce Callahan, the rookie DeAndre Hall. A lot of good players the Bears like are competing to take Kyle Fuller's space right now.
Let's talk about McPhee a little bit more. Here's a guy who did not play, I believe, in week 13 last year, and they said after the season he's going to have surgery. I don't know why he played the final 3 games. No one will ever convince me that was an intelligent decision. And now we don't see him yet going through any type of workouts. Little bit of stuff today, no contact or anything. What's the latest on Pernell?
You know, he did a little bit stuff back at Hallis Hall before we came to Foxborough. He exerted a lot of pressure on his leg, came back sweaty after the workouts. And I would say he actually did quite a bit here on the field not too long ago, about 30 minutes ago. A lot of different works, high knees, leg extensions, all sorts of different workouts with the head trainer here. Obviously, they're going to be patient with him, but he's starting to do more. I mean, he was squatting and sliding left to right. He was trying to do a little bit of rushes. So the progress, it's there. You can see it now. It's visual. He's on the field practicing in some form. It's side work right now. But, yes, until he has the helmet on, the shoulder pads on, and he's practicing every single day with these guys, it's going to take some time. But this is a guy they value a lot. This is a guy who's a leader on this defense, a voice on this defense. They can't risk screwing this up. They need him week 1, week 2. No reason to rush him in the preseason.
All right, biggest thing you hope to see tonight besides the Bears scoring at least 1 point, because last week they didn't score for the first time in forever in the preseason.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. I want to see the Bears put some points on the board. Look, I'm not going to make a lot out of preseason success and failures, but what happened against the Broncos just wasn't good. You got a new offensive coordinator. You got a lot of moving pieces on the offensive line. You got to figure out what's going on at running back, but you still got Jay Cutler. You still got Alshon Jeffrey. You still got Kevin White, who had an outstanding week here practicing against the Patriots. There should be enough pieces to move the ball down the field and at least be productive. I'm not talking about points and scoring 14 points here in the first quarter, but let's just move the ball. Let's not have 3 and outs. Let's not have sacks on third downs. Let's find some level of success to feel good about this offense going forward.
Appreciate the knowledge. Enjoy your time there and have a safe trip home tomorrow.
See you, Cap.
All right, see you, buddy. All right, so Potsy, let's talk a little Bears. Your take on what you hope to see tonight, because last week it was unacceptable what we saw from the first-team offense. 13 yards.
Just looking at one thing, the offensive line. They're the group that has the farthest to go based on last week's performance. This is the week that you do make a lot of progress because you've already been on the field, and they have to show some semblance of not so much being good, of course, but just showing that they can get better. You know, because they've got such a long way to go. You know, last week I think the Broncos threw a lot at them, protection-wise, and I think that made the Bears look worse than they were, to tell you the truth. And I think, and not that they're game planning this week, it might not be any better, but I think I feel like the Bears' offensive line, just their whole protection scheme, will be a lot better this week.
Yeah, they need it to be because, Cap, you know, over the past couple of years I've been a little more positive on the Bears than you, but I was watching that game and I was actually thinking of you because I'm like, I think Cap's right. I mean, if you can't block, you can't win. It's that simple. I mean, you can talk about the wide receivers, you can talk about Cutler, you can talk about the young running backs, but if you can't block, you're not. I mean, that's the most basic thing you need to do. And they look terrible. And maybe it was they're playing Denver, and Denver's got a good defense even when all the regulars aren't out there. But it just looked like a cause for concern that they looked lost. Now, will they be better going forward? Maybe the preseason. Who knows? You can never tell. But gosh, they look bad.
Why do I get the feeling that Kyle Fuller's day-to-day, then Kyle Fuller's not going to Foxborough, then Kyle Fuller won't play the rest of the preseason, that I'm looking at Kevin White and I'm going to hear, like in week 5, yeah, we're going to have to shut him down?
Cap, I don't know it'll be that situation. It's I don't think it's even the same situation, to tell you the truth, because I don't think they see Kyle Fuller as, like, you know, the superstar to be player. They're not losing a whole. He was going to be fighting for his job even if he was healthy, to tell you the truth, because he was just okay last year. He wasn't great. Let's put it this way. I'm fairly confident that if he does not get better and they throw one of their other young defensive backs in there,
not a big drop-off.
It might not be a drop-off at all, especially if it's a guy like DeAndre Hall, a young player who is, you know, getting better. He could end up being even better than what Kyle Fuller was. So I don't see that. That's not a big flashpoint for me as far as, you know, being a detriment to the team.
One quick trivia question for you guys. 2009 till the day before the 2013 draft, the Bears added 29 guys through the draft, right before they picked Kyle Long. How many of those guys are still on the roster?
Of their draft picks?
29 picks. How many of those guys are still playing for the Bears?
I'll say 10.
I'll say 3.
How about 1? Alshon Jeffrey. That's why they are where they are. Bad.
You're right.
All right, remember, White Sox baseball, top of the hour. It's the rubber game with the Tribe. Carlos Rodon goes to the Hill. Hawk and Steve Stone has a call at 6. More STL right after this.
It's Alpha Body Ford's Blowout Extravaganza. Right now, you can buy a Ford Focus for $100 down and only $169 a month. Or get 0% financing for 72 months, plus get up to $2,750 back.
That was it, $100 down.
I paid $100 down and only $169 a month.
Get the car you want with over 1,000 cars to choose from and the lowest prices of the year. The Blowout Extravaganza event.
Going on now at the original Alpha Body Ford Melrose Park, 25th and North Avenue.
Uh-oh, your check engine light just came on. The signal you're about to be hit with a repair bill costing you thousands of dollars. That's why you need auto repair coverage from CarShield. When your car breaks down, you pick your favorite trusted mechanic or dealership. CarShield gets them paid directly. With hundreds of thousands of customers, CarShield is the trusted industry leader. Call CarShield and protect yourself from future repair bills. The sooner you call, the sooner you're covered.
Call 1-800-507-016.
Now playing exclusively on DirecTV Cinema.
They want me because a woman died in my arms. If I go back with you, they're going to kill me.
I don't care.
Well, don't you need a passport to fly?
Eliminate them before they get back to Macau.
We got to go. One drink. When? Who knows some good Mongolian drinking games?
Skip Trace, now playing exclusively on DirecTV Cinema.
Time has come today at Willowbrook Kia and Berwyn Kia. Now's the time to save. Triple time savings on new Kia Fortes, Kia Rios, or the highest ranked compact multi-purpose vehicle in initial quality. The Kia Soul, your choice, only $12,795 or $149 per month. And bad credit is no problem because we own the bank. We look at your future, not your past. Time to get approved at Willowbrook Kia and Berwyn Kia, both just north of I-55.
It's me, Deadpool, and I got an offer that you can't refuse.
With DirecTV, the summer's biggest heroes are on demand.
That is an opportunity.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I'll tell you exactly what you're going to do.
Connect your Genie HD DVR to the internet for instant access to the hottest movies and shows.
That was easy. I know, right?
And now they have what they need to take it further.
Get connected and enjoy a heroic summer on demand with DirecTV. Channel 1000.
Pearl Jam plays Wrigley Saturday and Monday, and there is the one and only Eddie Vedder throwing out the first pitch today at Wrigley. They saw him there with Joe Madden. He grew up in the Chicago area and is a die-hard Cub fan, so thrilling to have him at Wrigley on Saturday and Monday for the concert. All right, Adam Eaton last night came to the dish facing the Indians closer, and with the bases loaded and one out, he turned the ball game around. Jace, that was pretty cool. I know they're up the track, but it's still dramatic when your guy, a little guy on top of it, hits a slam.
It was a nice win. Hey, why didn't they give Robin Ventura the contract extension today? He wants to come back after a win like that. They're fighting for him. I'm being sarcastic, of course, but bad White Sox season, and you look at that, it was a nice moment in a bad season.
Yeah, but at this point, I don't get as excited as I used to about games like that. It was great to watch because you know what's coming next. They might win a couple games, 3, 4 in a row, 5 out of 7, but then they'll go right back to where they were. They've already proven that's the kind of team they were. So that was fun to watch. I saw it, and it was great, but it's just not the same kick because you know what you're dealing with after five years of
They're going to be up the track. They'll go back to work tonight with Carlos Rodon. Before we get out of here, Ryan Lochte has been indicted in Brazil, and sort of, as Jason said at break, like Bobby Knight getting indicted in Puerto Rico at the Pan Am Games. He never went back to Puerto Rico, and Ryan will never go back to Brazil.
Exactly.
But this idiot's legacy now is going to be, anytime you think of him, you won't go, that's one of the great swimmers we've ever seen. You'll go, that's that swimmer that concocted the story about getting robbed. That's sad.
He always wanted to get out of Michael Phelps' shadow.
He's out of it now.
It proves that you don't lie either, because apparently his mom's the one who publicized the story.
Right.
And then so you tell a little lie to somebody, it's
and
the
it
old
explodes.
It explodes, exactly.
And then Michael Phelps told Wayne Drays this morning via phone, because he's back in the United States now in Phoenix, Michael, and he said to Wayne, you know what? 4 years ago, 8 years ago, I probably would have been with those guys that night. I've matured. And he went home back to Phoenix to get his family situated, his wife and his child. So he could have been right there in the middle of this whole thing, and by his own admission.
Good decision by him not to go out that night.
Will this be his legacy? We're talking about Lochte. When you think about him 10 years from now, do you think this will be the first thing you think of? Because in Manti Te'o, the first thing I think of is, oh yeah, they got catfished by Lene Kakua.
I think for people like me who only watch the Olympics, swimming in the Olympics, it will be. But for people who are really into swimming, and his gold medals will be the foremost. But there's no doubt this taints his whatever else he does in his career. This definitely
will affect his endorsements.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that.
You might also think he's the guy who lost to Phelps a lot, too. I mean, because remember, they were supposed to be like 1 and 2, and then really it was Michael Phelps.
These guys all, after they're done swimming, they live off their endorsements. He may have just cost himself millions. That is a wrap for Sports Talk Live, presented by the Chevy Silverado. Thanks for being here, boys. White Sox and Indians coming up next. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you tomorrow.
Today we're going to be comparing the roll-formed steel bed of the Chevy Silverado to the aluminum bed of this competitor's truck.
Awesome.
Yeah. First, let's check out the aluminum bed of this truck.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Full-on crack here. Now let's check out the steel bed of the Silverado.
I'd expect more dents. No holes.
This summer, find your tag and get 16% of MSRP cash back on select remaining 2016 Silverado pickups in stock. That's over $7,500 cash back on this Chevy Silverado. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Starbucks Double Shot Energy. It's the bold taste of real Starbucks coffee, blended with a variety of delicious flavors. For the energy you need all day and the great taste you want right now. Starbucks Double Shot. Real life energy.
At Discount Tire, we're not just about tires. We're about people.
Right now, get a $70 Visa prepaid card on any set of 4 Michelin tires, plus $30 when you purchase with Discount Tire Credit.
Everything you know about TVs has changed. The breakthrough technology found in LG's new 4K OLED TVs produces bolder colors and more intense blacks to create a picture so vivid it defies description. Combined with a sleek, ultra-thin design, they're nothing like you've ever seen. Come experience this revolution in television technology at Apt Electronics. Guaranteed low prices, great selection, and free local delivery. Apt. Pleasing people since 1936.
The old dorm, if these walls could talk.
Stop hammer time.
I think the wall is talking.
MC Hammer? He can't touch this.
And when you're hanging in the dorm, you shouldn't touch this or this. Here, use command hooks instead. Hold strong, damage-free. Just peel, stick, and ta-da! Then when school is out, stretch command hook off and ta-da! Ta-da!
Legit.
Still legit.
Oh.
What's happening?
Command, do no harm.
Get to Schaumburg Honda Automobiles during the summer clearance event and save.
Oh, you, sir, are a tremendous gentleman.
And you, miss, are a fantastic lady.
Lisa redesigned 2016 Honda Civic LX sedan for just $179 a month, or a CRV for only $199 a month.
Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman, Schaumburg Honda Automobiles, just 8 blocks west of the Woodfield Mall on Gulf Road in Schaumburg.
To right field, way back, he looks up, you can put it on the board, yes! A grand slam home run by Adam Eaton, and our Sox lead it 10-7. Mercy!
And we are coming to you from Progressive Field in Cleveland, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Todd Frazier, Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor, and the first place Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrell. Since we get set to bring you the finale of this 3-game set, and it will be the rubber match. As you know, Quintana pitched very well in the opener, but he got beat. We didn't do anything for him. We got beat 3-1. Corey Kluber did that. Then last night in Game 2, I'll tell you, well, we talked about him last night in the open, and we got to talk about him tonight in the open.
Adam Eaton is really putting everything together, and he had his first grand slam of his career last night. But before that grand slam, he's been doing just about everything right. He's hitting the ball out of the ballpark. As you can see, over the last 5 games, hitting .429. He's not only hitting the ball well, but he's fielding very well, and that's been really a trademark all year long. He's in line to win a Gold Glove in right field. He's been among the best. He has more assists than anybody in the American League, and he keeps on throwing the ball right on the button and throwing out base runners consistently. Last night, almost hurt his knee, but made a fine play. So Adam Eaton is getting it done, and hopefully some of his mates can help him. They scored 10 last night. Might not need quite that many tonight.
Well, looking to build off his first win since May 22nd in his last start, Carlos Rodon.
Everybody was asking, when's Carlos going to come along? How come Chris Sale developed so quickly and Carlos may be taking a little more time? Last couple of times out, Carlos Rodon has looked like the guy that was the 3rd pick in the country in the first round. He was absolutely brilliant. Against Miami, 6 innings, 3 hits and 1 run. And it looked to me like building off a fine outing the outing before, he's just getting more and more confident. So I look for a big outing from him tonight. And take a look at his mound opponent, Danny Salazar. Carlos Rodon 3-0 lifetime against the Indians. Danny Salazar 5-2 lifetime against our Sox, where Carlos has a 1.75 ERA. Danny has a 3.19 ERA. So this is going to be a good pitcher's duel tonight. The Indians, right in the thick of things, they lead. Not exactly a commanding margin, but a good one. And our Sox trying to become relevant.
All right, this is the rubber match of this three-game set, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
The factory doesn't know about it and we ain't asking permission. It's the unauthorized clearance event at South Oak. Big rebates, gigantic savings, unauthorized discounts. 2016 Ram 1500 only $18,900. Yes, a Ram 1500 for only $18,900. A 2016 Jeep Patriot $12,500. A 2016 Jeep Cherokee $16,500. No gimmicks. Everyone qualifies. The unauthorized clearance event at Denny Guest South Oak, 4550 Lincoln Highway. Online at southoak.com. Come see why Denny Guest beats the rest. A summer clearance event.
It's that time of year to clean out the old and get in the new. A new Gerald Subaru, that is. We make it easy to find a Subaru you'll love because Gerald Subaru has a huge selection of inventory at 2 convenient Chicagoland locations. Come in today to test drive your favorite models, including the 2016 Forester. Plus, all our Subarus are backed by Gerald's exclusive lifetime warranty. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. There's so much to love, only at Gerald Subaru at I-88 in Orchard Road or Ogden Avenue in Naperville.
Hey everyone, Chuck Arfine back in our Comcast Sportsnet studios to get you back out to Cleveland for first pitch in a moment. Today we learned that Brett Laurie suffered a quad issue last night and his rehab starts, so he might be pushed back a few days before coming back and pitching, or actually playing, for the White Sox. Big story last night. Look at the bubble. Adam Eaton blew as he hit the grand slam in the 9th inning, giving the White Sox a dramatic come-from-behind victory. It's the first career grand slam for Eden. And speaking with reporters before the game, Rob Ventura had not even heard about the bubble until the media brought it up to him.
Maybe he should do it more often. I don't know. Maybe that's more of a relaxation thing. I didn't see it, but maybe he should try it more often. I don't know. I mean, if he's going to hit a homer, he had it. Can't see that. It's pretty good. I like that. That's multitasking is what he's doing.
Serious multitasking. Okay, so coming up, it is the White Sox and Indians from Progressive Field. Hawk and Steve are standing by for the call. Bill Melton joins me after the final out for White Sox post-game live. We'll see you then.
It's all imported cheeses. This is a fondue party, Mike.
I realize that, Alan. Taco Bell has these new burritos with warm melted cheese in the center.
This is a Gorgonzola Gruyere medley.
This is a 3-cheese blend plus nacho cheese sauce medley.
The best way to serve warm melted cheese is in the center of a beefy burrito. New cheesy core burritos only at Taco Bell.
One swing can be the ultimate game changer. And at T-Mobile, we've changed the game by doubling our LTE coverage, so you can stream baseball free without using your data on MLB TV. T-Mobile, that's major league coverage.
A light beer, brewed to have more taste than any other light beer. Hats off to that. Miller Lite, spelled different because it's brewed different.
Good or better? The Hyundai Sonata versus the Toyota Camry. The Sonata has an available panoramic sunroof. The Camry? No. In the Sonata, available Android Auto. The Camry? No again. And only the Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty. Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. the 2017 Sonata from Hyundai.
What a perfect day for baseball at US Cellular Field. Here he comes. He's going to try. He's safe. And he makes the catch. He makes the catch. And ball high and deep. Stretch. You can put it on the ball. Yes. He gone. Yes. Yes. And this ball game is over. Boxing.
White Sox baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Welcome back to Progressive Field. It's a gorgeous night in Cleveland, and let's take a look at how Robin is going to line them up on our Kia starting lineup for the game this evening. Adam Eaton, last night's hero, leading it off, and it's Tyler Saladino. Melky Cabrera, Jose Abreu with Justin Morneau, the DH. And it's Todd Frazier, Tim Anderson, J.B. Shuck, and Omar Narvaez getting another start. Our Honda City defense, and now Terry Francona is going to put him out there behind Danny Salazar, Brandon Geyer in left, Rajay Davis in center, and Abraham Almonte is in right. It's Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor, Jason Kipnis, and Mike Napoli in the infield. Roberto Perez gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Danny Salazar. Fresh off the disabled list, he's got a pitching limit. It's going to be somewhere under 100, and we'll see in the control because he didn't have a rehab start. As you can see on for his 21st start, his ERA 3.38. The umpires for the game tonight. The finale of the series, the finale of the road trip. Adrian Johnson behind the plate, Chad Whitson at first, Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, is at second, and Jim Wolf is at third. So they've thrown a ball around the infield. The Indians, who come in first place, they are leading by 6 full games, 7 in the loss column over Detroit, and they're ready to continue their homestand. And we're ready to start this game, so it's time for me to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Stoney. Thank you, and once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale and the rubber match. As Adam Eaton stands in, and before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Danny Salazar, one of the best right-handed arms in the game.
He's going to top out about 97. He's got a great split change, and that's one of his biggest weapons.
You know the thing about that 97, there's 3 kinds of 97s. He's got the upper echelon 97. He's real easy and just a flip, and here it comes.
And he just was a beneficiary of a questionable call.
They got 3-0 on the board. And there's one. Sox come in hitting at .252 as a club with a 4.08 ERA. Sox have played this club 11 times this year, and we won 3 of the 11. And there's a good way to start it. The dreaded leadoff walk.
That's the one thing they worried about as far as Cleveland is concerned, not sending Salazar out for a rehab start. He threw a couple of sidelines, said the arm was feeling okay. He's had periodic elbow problems. One of the reasons why the Indians, who have tied up a lot of their young pitchers, have not tried to tie up Danny Salazar on a long-term basis.
Here's Saladino. Hynek in. Don't help him out.
.75% for Adam Eaton. Perez has got a very good arm, and he's made one great throw in this series. Thrown the ball very well.
That man, 11 straight seasons of over 500. truly remarkable in this culture.
He got close last year, but they eased their way to 81-80. But he's one of the really good managers in all of baseball.
Well, that 11 straight years were in that argument.
Yeah.
But he's got a nice club. The more you see this ball club, the more you like them. The Indians, they can catch it, they can hit it, and they can certainly pitch it. Their first 3 are just about as good as anybody, and their first 5 were all their starters. Just about as formidable as anybody in this league.
That's one of the keys, especially when adding Andrew Miller to the bullpen. Now the bullpen gets substantially stronger to go with that starting rotation, which has been strong.
Well, they only have the 6-game lead, so it's certainly not over yet with the Tigers. But where it is? It's August 18th. I'm going to say right now, my pick the last 2 years have been Kansas City in this league, and I'm going to pick Cleveland this year to go all the way.
They've got the ability to do that, especially if they hit the ball like they're hitting it lately.
That's fouled away, and the count goes full. Melky on deck. And of course, all this has been done without Michael Brantley.
Yeah, when you lose your best, and he was their best, it's big shoes to fill for whoever.
Yeah, you know, it's like Detroit losing Cabrera from their club. So, yeah, when you lose your best and you still have pretty good hold on first place, they'll tell you something about the character of the ball club.
Apparently hit .310 last year. He had 15 home runs, drove in 84, stole 15 bases, played a very good outfield, and was one of the very quiet team leaders. So you lose those kind of numbers from your outfield, you got to be scratching around to get those numbers.
There he goes, and that's fouled away, and that'll be out of play. Yeah, well, those numbers are a little misleading as well for Brantley, because it's not what he hit, it's when he hit it. The best clutch hitter on this team and one of the best in the American League.
He came over from Milwaukee, kept getting better and better, and had surgery. They thought he would be ready by spring training. Didn't work out that way. He came back once for 11 games, made a couple of different rehab stints, and just couldn't get it to feel any better.
And there is back-to-back walks. So we got something going here in the first inning. And fans, now you can vote for your pick to click. Before each game, visit whitesox.com/pick-to-click and decide who you think will be the next White Sox position player of the game. There you see fans going with Adam. Their crew's going with Morneau. Steve's going with Tim Anderson. Terry Hanley, Mike Williams, Roger Clare, Eric Aldrich, and now we're going to go with Tyler Saladino. Here's Melky. You said it.
Yeah, worry about the control.
Yeah, you said it half hour before the game started.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't let him have one rehab start, because coming back, and yeah, you're right, they've got a 6-game lead, but it's still a pennant race. Coming back,
yeah, it is.
When going on the DL into a pennant race, number one, the pitches are going to pile up. He won't go all that deep into the game. But number two, you worry about getting behind early.
And that's popped up short left field. So Geyer, and that's out number 1. Well, it's not like they didn't have anybody to run out there.
No, Clevenger's been really good. In fact, this was the spot that Clevenger was supposed to pitch in. They decided to move him into the bullpen for the time being and let Salazar assume that spot. So it could be that he had a little jitters the first 2 hitters. Maybe he gets out of it. But he's still most probably going to use a whole lot of pitches to get through this first inning.
Danny's 26 years old, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds, out of the Dominican Republic. And as I mentioned, one of the great releases on his fastball in the game. Hitting at 280, 14 homers, 65 driven in, 1 for 7 in the series. And he's had good luck against Salazar. 16 at bats, 6 hits, 3 of which stayed in the park.
That's what he's done for his career. He started 80 games, 33 and 25 with an ERA a little above 3.5. He'll be ready for the race later in the game. That's Ketchup. Bad injury to Mustard last night. Curtailed Mustard's winning streak.
Zone him in, reel him in, and light him up right here, Jose.
Try to straight change and then try to slider, miss with both.
Pitch, and it is 3-1. Morneau on deck. Outfield spread out, small gap out there in left center. Will load him up, so 3 walks. And here comes Morneau. Now Kipnis going to come over, offering the pearl of wisdom.
As is Mickey Callaway, who's coming out from the dugout.
Well, just watching him here in the first inning, to me, he's not anywhere near as fluid as I remember Danny when he's pitched against us.
Yeah, he appears to be forcing everything tonight. Yeah, and that's, that's probably in an effort to get his velocity back to where he thinks it should be, instead of letting it. He's got a great motion. He's got a good pitcher's body, but I think he's trying to force it into the strike zone. And when a pitcher really is at his best, he's not thinking about throwing strikes. He's thinking about throwing right at the catcher's glove, relaxing, putting it right there. And right now, because he is coming off the disabled list, he is very shaky here in the first inning. Good time to get a substantial lead.
Morneau, 3 for 8 in the series with a homer. He homered in game 1. That was our only tally. We got beat 3-1 by Corey Kluber. Nice pick by Perez.
That was a great stop. I'm not sure how he caught it. That one could have easily have gone to the screen, and that would have been a run right into the ground. And he's able on one hop to catch it. It's one of those where you put the glove down. If it sticks, you make a great play. Otherwise, it's a wild pitch and a run. Salazar has 6 wild pitches this year. He's got 3 balks. Brewer, the bases loaded. Unbelievably good for Justin Morneau.
That ball hit hard into left field. Dyer now cannot make the play, and it bounces well away from him. So that's going to clear the bases. The 3-run double by Justin Morneau, and it is 3-0. Good guys.
Gives Justin 14 runs batted in. And this ball was slicing away from Geyer. Geyer thought he had a shot at it. Justin stays right with it. He's always had big power, and as that ball slices away, hits off the wall and bounds away. Rajai Davis was the only guy to be able to get to it. Jose scoring all the way from first, and a big early lead, compliments of the 3 walks.
So here is Frazier, tied. 2 for 8 with 2 RBIs in the series. Comes in hitting at .210, but he has 31 homers and 74 driven in. He is 1 for 7 lifetime off Salazar, and that one hit was a home run. Don't help him out.
The Indians bullpen is up and going. Kyle Crockett, who we saw last night, but we only saw him for a third of an inning, is getting loosened up.
Well, that's the double jeopardy about starting Salazar without having a rehab start.
Yep. It is. You can go through a whole lot of your bullpen, and you've got Toronto coming to town.
Goes to that one. And the count 2-1.
We will depart, and Toronto will come in over the weekend. And Toronto can hit the baseball. Now the question is, will Donaldson be healthy enough to play?
That ball into right field. Morneau is tagging. And here he goes. And here's the throw. He's safe. Good throw by Almonte.
Almonte made a good throw with what he did, but watch. He catches the ball way off to the left side of his body. If he puts himself, because he had some time to position himself, if he puts himself so that he's catching that ball either in the middle or to the right side of his body, he's going to throw him out.
You know, I have never seen an outfielder who couldn't make that adjustment. I've never seen him. They all can make it, but he did.
That's right. And Ichiro was one of the guys that did it perfectly.
Ichiro did everything perfectly out there defensively.
It was magnificent.
You know, people have asked me about that many times. Who's the best right fielder you've ever seen? I'll tell you what, I've never seen anybody better than Ichiro.
Well, fundamentally, he was an instructional video. You could take a look at everything he did, and it was exactly the way it should be done.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some great outfielders. You're talking about Clemente, you're talking about Kaline, you're talking about Maris was a great outfielder. People did not understand it only because of all the home runs he hit, but Roger Maris was a terrific right fielder. Dwight Evans of the Boston Red Sox, one of the best right fielders to ever play the game, but nobody was better than Ichiro. Tim can't get it.
Clevenger now throwing in the bullpen, and he was the man who was supposed to start this game before they reinserted Salazar. That's Mike Clevenger, who came over from the Angels, 4th-round draft pick in 2011. And very early in his career, while he was still an A-ball, he got traded here to the Indians.
Nice, another nice pick by Roberto Perez. No, Ichiro did everything textbook. It's almost like he invented the textbook.
.30 pitches so far.
And of course, all those great right fielders that I just mentioned had no chance against Ichiro in a race.
No, he was blinding fast.
2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's full. Timmy last night with a tremendous home run. 2-run shot in the 3rd inning. Hit the very top of the foul pole. And that is a blast. And if you miss that home run, Mike Leary says, here it is.
That would have been a tough call if it didn't hit the pole. Because if it goes above the pole, really difficult for the umpire to see it or judge it.
Got him on a very bad pitch right there, but the big bases loaded clearing double by Justin Morneau. Is 3-0 Sox.
Welcome to Honda.
See anything you like?
Yeah.
Now is the moment to get the Honda Civic you love, voted 2016 North American Car of the Year at the Honda Summer Clearance Event, going on now.
Jamie Foxx here for Verizon. Did you know Verizon has more than 3 times the 4G LTE coverage of Sprint?
And I'm Jamie Foxx for Sprint. Pretty much the same coverage if you squint.
You are not Jamie Foxx. Sprint is last nationally in 4G LTE coverage.
Well, who's gonna know this?
What about the left side of the country, huh? This part of Texas, California, New York, etc.
Don't get fooled by cut-rate networks. Get the best. And now get up to 4 free Samsung Galaxy phones, 4 lines, and 16 gigs for just $150. Only on Verizon.
You're cleared into the track. Smoke on.
Experience the thrill from